Okay, so 10-6, 735, problem 12. Basically, we want to look at law of cosines here. And if we take a look at the law of cosines, we remember that to find a side, it's a squared is equal to b squared plus
b squared
minus 2
bc cosine a.
Cosine a, good.
Isn't the other one cosine inverse?
Yeah, so the other one is going to be a is equal to the cosine inverse of
A squared minus b squared.
perfect. A squared minus b squared
Divided by
minus c squared, right?
yeah,
Divided by
negative 2 bc.
bc. See how these things are just right underneath each other? Makes it real easy. Okay? Yeah. And so, am I recording?
I hope so.
Yeah. All right. So, when we plug this in, we're going to have f. I mean, we can look for any one we want, right? So, might as well find f, because if I find f, then I found g, because those are isosceles triangles, right? Then I don't have to plug it in. I found f and g, and I can find h, right? By using the 180-degree rule, okay? So this is the easiest way to go about it, finding f or g. So if I find f, right, then it's equal to the cosine inverse of f, the little f, squared, right, minus the other two. Minus g squared minus h squared, whatever they are, right, all over negative 2, and then just these two, gh, right? And then I do the same thing when I plug them in, okay? So I have f, which is still unknown, I have no idea what it is, but it's equal to the cosine inverse of f, which is, little f is 14 squared, minus g. So g in this case is 14 squared minus h squared, so 9 squared, right? All over negative 2gh. So these two. 14 and 9. Right? And when I put this in my calculator, I just want to remember some things, right? Let's make things a lot easier for us. 1, I know that I have a parentheses here. And 2, if I do this, then I can use my answer key on my calculator, and it's a lot easier to deal with. So I can just plug these in, boom and boom, and then use what's called the answer key. So the second shift key, the second key, and the negative sign is actually your answer key. So that's going to plug in your answer from whatever you found. Okay? So what I would hit is second, after I find that answer, I would hit second, and then cosine, right? And then this, right? So second cosine, right? And then this. Okay, but that's first I got to plug in this stuff. So I got to plug in, remembering the parentheses, right? So we're going to remember the parentheses and then go 14 squared minus 14 squared minus 9 squared, right? Divided by negative, oh, whoops, I want to make sure that that's...
Should it be negative 9 squared divided by...
Yeah, because those actually cancel each other out, right? So you could have actually skipped that. Yeah. Alright, so then it's the parentheses, negative, yeah, 2.
Since that's negative 14 squared, wouldn't that end up positive? Since it's a negative being multiplied by a negative, wouldn't that be 2 positives?
Where? Here?
No.
Here?
Yeah.
That's just minus.
It's minus 14 squared, but
yeah, 14 minus 14 is
0.
0.
Okay, I was thinking of them as in our own parentheses.
And then divided by -2 times 14 times 9, right, in parentheses. And so you should get, and then you plug in that number, you know, you just say, okay, this number I get is 0.32. 1428571, right? And that way if I hit a button or I miss something, I have the number and I can plug that number in. Does that make sense? And so now I come to this point, right? And I hit second cosine, so that brings up that inverse cosine. And then second, the negative sign, and that brings up the answer that I just found. Right? Hit the in parentheses. Don't forget that. That in parentheses. Right? Sorry. And then equals, and I get 72 or 71.25. So 71.25, 0, blah, blah, blah. It says to round off to the nearest tenth. So what is that? 71 nearest 10. So it's F is going to be 71.3 because it's the nearest 10. Now if this is 71.3, then this is 71.3, right? Because it's isosceles. So these have to be the same, right? So now to find H is easy. To find H is, I just
142.6 take away from 180.
Exactly. 71 plus 3 plus 71.3, or like you said, 142.6.
Would be 37.4, right?
Is that right?
I think so.
7 puts it at a 5. Yep, 37.4. So that's what H is. 37.4. And then we double check. Make sure we found it right. So that would be 12. So it's 71.3, 71.3, and 37.4. Bam.
My brain ain't wrong, man.
There it is.